the voice on the other side said, "I'm about to die and you were next. What would you do? Hang up, call the police, or pretend it never happened?" Because 3 years ago, in a small town called Ravenwood, Pennsylvania, one phone call in the middle of the night uncovered a secret that involved a hit-and-run accident, a hidden body, and a revenge plan that took 3 years to unfold. But the most terrifying part of this story isn't the murder. It's what happened after the killer was arrested, because someone else was still watching, and the calls never stopped. This is the story of the 3M call. A main story. It was exactly 3:00 a.m. when the phone started ringing. Ethan Carter suddenly woke up. The room was completely silent except for the rain tapping against his bedroom window. Outside, the streets of Ravenwood, Pennsylvania, were empty. The phone kept ringing. Ethan slowly picked it up. "Hello?" Silence. For a few seconds no one spoke. Then a weak, trembling voice came through the phone. Can you hear me?" Ethan frowned. "You, who is this?" A pause. Then the voice whispered something that made Ethan's stomach tighten. "I'm going to die tonight." Ethan sat up in bed. "What? Who are you? Where are you?" The voice sounded terrified. "I don't know where I am, but if you don't find me, the next body will be yours." The call ended. Just like that. Ethan stared at the phone. Was this some kind of prank? Before he could think further, a text message appeared. It was a photo. A dark room. In the middle of the room was a single chair. Someone was sitting in the chair, but their face was hidden in the shadows. Below the photo were 5 words. "You have 24 hours. The next morning, Ethan told his best friend Ryan Walker about the call. Ryan laughed. "Dude, someone's messing with you." But Ethan couldn't shake the feeling in his chest. That voice didn't sound like a prank. It sounded like someone who was truly afraid. Then Ethan's phone buzzed again. A news alert. He opened it. The headline made his blood run cold. "Unidentified man found dead near Blackwood Forest." Below the headline was a photo. Ethan felt his hands start shaking, because the picture showed the exact same chair and room from the message he received the night before. Someone had been murdered. And somehow, Ethan had been warned about it before it happened. That night, Ethan couldn't sleep. He kept staring at the clock. 2:57 a.m., 2:58 a.m., 2:59 a.m., then 3:00 a.m. The phone rang again. His heart pounded as he answered. "Hello?" The same voice returned, but this time it sounded weaker. "Why didn't you find me?" Ethan quickly said. "I didn't know where you were," the voice whispered. "I was going to tell you, but now it's too late." Ethan swallowed. "Who are you? Why are you calling me?" Silence. Then the voice started laughing. But it wasn't a scared laugh. It was cold, unnatural. Then the voice said one final sentence. "Because you're next." The call ended. Seconds later, Ethan received another message. This time it wasn't a photo. It was a location pin, and underneath were the words, "Come here at 3 a.m. if you want to live." Ethan called Ryan immediately. Ryan didn't like the idea at all, but curiosity and fear pushed them to go. At 2:45 a.m. they arrived at the location, an abandoned factory outside Ravenwood. The building was rusted and broken. Wind moved through shattered windows. The place looked like it hadn't been used in decades. Then Ethan's phone rang again. 3:00 a.m. "You made it," Ethan asked. "Where are you?" The voice whispered. "Behind you." They turned. Nothing. No one there. Then suddenly, a metal chain crashed somewhere inside the factory. The sound echoed through the darkness. They slowly walked inside. The building was pitch black. The only light came from Ethan's phone. Then they saw it. A chair in the middle of the room, exactly like the photo. And someone was tied to it. A body. Ethan slowly stepped closer. He lifted the phone light toward the face, and the moment he saw it, the phone slipped from his hand. Because the body looked exactly like him, suddenly someone started clapping slowly behind them. They turned. A man stepped out of the darkness. He had a calm smile on his face. "Well done, you arrived right on time." Ethan's voice shook. "Who are you?" The man laughed softly. "In the man you killed 3 years ago." 3 years earlier, Ethan, Ryan, and their friend Lucas Bennett were driving home from a party late at night. The highway outside Ravenwood was empty. Ethan was driving. Suddenly someone ran across the road. There was no time to brake. The car hit him. The man fell to the ground, dead. They panicked. Lucas said calling the police would ruin their lives. So they made a terrible decision. They hid the body inside this very factory and swore never to talk about it again. Back in the present, the man smiled. "You left me there to die." Just then, another voice came from the doorway. And then, it was Lucas. "I've been getting those same calls." Before anyone could speak, the lights suddenly went out. Total darkness. Then a scream echoed through the factory. Evan turned on his phone light. Lucas was on the floor, a knife in his chest. Dead. Evan's phone buzzed. A message appeared. "First sinner is gone. 2 left." The next night, Ethan and Ryan stood inside Ravenwood Cemetery. Wine moved through the trees. Their phones buzzed again. "Walk to the last grave." They followed the instructions. When they reached the grave, Ethan froze. The tombstone read, "Unknown male, died 3 years ago, the same night as the accident." Then a voice spoke behind them. "You finally came." It was the same man. Ryan suddenly pulled out a gun. Ethan stared at him. "Ryan, what are you doing?" Ryan smiled coldly. "The real game starts now." Ethan realized something horrifying. "You planned all of this?" Ryan nodded. "The calls, the messages, the factory, all me." Ethan shouted, "Wake!" Ryan's eyes burned with anger. "Because when the police investigated the accident, you and Lucas blamed everything on me. I went to prison while you two walked free." Ryan aimed the gun. "Tonight justice happens." But suddenly the man started laughing. Bright lights flooded the cemetery. Police surrounded them. A detective stepped forward. "Ryan Walker, you're under arrest." Ryan dropped the gun in shock. The man looked at Ethan. "I went to the police when I discovered the truth. They needed a confession. And tonight, they got it." Ryan was taken away. Silence returned to the cemetery. Ethan looked at the man. "So it's over." The man smiled. Then he said something that froze Ethan's blood. "By the way, the man you hit with your car, was it me?" Ethan stared at him. "What?" The man whispered. "The real body is still inside the factory." At that exact moment, Ethan's phone buzzed. 30. A new message appeared. "I'm still here." Ethan slowly looked toward the dark factory in the distance. And in the shadows, a figure was standing there, watching him.